diamond age. The question was that even after so many of us might get ideas from some fiction novels or stories, but we actually don't know how to implement those. So what is the first step to get started, and how did you build on it thereafter?
So there's no one step. I think it might look like it's just one thing, and we started from that idea. It to so what we're doing is we're using again artificial intelligence to detect what's around a child and build a unique education experience for a child from that. And we got an idea after sort of many years of iteration. So it was not one place where we got an idea from, and uh, I would say you get a lot of ideas from reading science fiction books. That's, I think, if that is one way to get ideas, because science fiction or stories where whether that is stories like I mean our scriptures or other stories, you can get ideas from that, what was possible or what you can imagine. So those are all the ideas that you can like moonshot ideas that you can try to pursue.
But how did the startup happen after that? Equally happen after that, and how to implement those ideas? Is there some? How did you take that journey onwards?
So how did I take that journey? So I wanted to obviously do something in education for sure, because I think that was I was very aligned with that. So because I wanted to do something in that, I was trying to look for whenever you start a startup, you have to look for a problem. So so I was started to look for a problem that I could solve in education, that through technology or games that I know how to build. And so that's how we sort of got into the startup, and now startup became into equally.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing such an amazing information, sir. Well, I can see the students super excited and curious to ask some questions.
Okay,
So
let's do.
I'd like I'd like to hand over the mic to the students so that they can get their queries answered directly. Here's to Ashutosh.
Morning, sir. Myself, Ashutosh Roila. I'm from EC second year. Sir, my question is regarding your startup. When you have started your startup, how do you approach the people, or how you approach about the uh, your money problems related or anything problem related? So how you approach different companies or different peoples to solve that problems?
So how do you approach people? First, you define who your people are. You define a target set customer, who your customer is going to be. For us, it's going to be parents who have kids, because we are building games for kids. So first, you define who your target uh, customer is for that problem, and then you basically see from your network who you know, because you I think the first lesson of startup is that you have to realize that you're somehow connected to every person in the world. And now we have Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and WhatsApp and every app, and even at social networks in games, right? So you're connected to everybody. So how do you reach that target segment? Through all these connections, and you ask them questions directly, and you basically build a good set of questions, and you get feedback in a very systematic way. So I think that answers it.
Yes, sure, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, please don't make it so formal. I feel very formal. इतना formal तो मैं कभी college में ही नहीं था. So please come forward and ask some questions.
Who's the next one?
Hello, Anshul sir. My name is Rohit Bhati. I'm from Computer Science branch, first year. Sir, I would like to ask the question on the fields like virtual reality, augmented reality, and game development, that these fields are not very much active in India. What career path should a student follow to get into this field and become a pro like you?
So how do we become a pro like me? So I'm not a pro, but I'll tell you how to become a pro. So the first thing is you have to stop thinking that it's now you're in a world where you are in India, because if you have internet, you're connected to anybody, as I said. So first, that mindset is needed to learn anything. And once you know that you're connected to anybody, you have to basically find resources that's going to get you. So you're most probably you're 2 or 3 Google searches away or YouTube searches away from your answer. But I'll tell you what you have to do is Unity is the platform. You have to learn. It's all the tutorials are available online. You have a Windows computer or a computer. You can install Unity on that, and that's the platform that will teach you. So I'm happy to provide more resources afterwards to help you become a AR developer if you're willing to learn.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. I am Shashank from electronics first year. Sir, my question is that generally we do many mistakes or we generally fail a couple of times in our career path. So what is your biggest failure or what is your biggest mistake that has gave you a biggest lesson in your career and life?
That's a very good question. I'll have to think. uh, so failure is very good. So so that's why I cannot remember which one is the most helpful. So because generally failure teaches you a lot. Because success gives you only shows you one path and makes you very gives you a lot of ego. So at failure is good. What example? I'll have to think. I can't think of a good example. But failure was, I think, failing at becoming a product manager really was very helpful. And once you start the startup, that failure is it becomes a consistent part of your journey because you keep trying and then you keep changing. So when we have built our startup, I think one lesson we learned was that you have to build something that people want to use right away, and it needs to solve their problem. So we were not doing that before. So that was a lesson we learned from our startup.
And so one more question that in the trending days, like
Mm-hmm.
any venture or startup is just started because a problem is to be solved or a need is to be filled. So is
Mm-hmm.
there, so apart from these two factors, is there any other factor like we can build a new startup or venture, like without considering a problem or a need to be filled or solved?
My question is what is the purpose of that startup?
Like purpose is to build an empire or like is just a simple purpose to increase the employability so that
Increase
more
the
people get jobs.
Yeah, but sure. So, but that's a good outcome of a business. But still, that business needs to solve some problem. Somebody needs to be ready to pay money for some service you're providing, right? So it could be some service. It doesn't have to be a problem. So, I think the one way to think about it
The
is
customer
that
must be satisfied. The customer must be
another
satisfied by our service.
Yeah, so another thing is there's two kinds of problems companies solve. One is a painkiller that I have there's a pain and I need to solve it, and because I need a solution, I cannot live without it. And the other is a vitamin, which means it's good to have, but if you don't have it, it won't do it's fine. So those are two different kind of problems that you can solve. So you can solve the vitamin ones, which are not painkillers, but those are like good to haves and build a business out of that.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Yes.
Good morning, sir. My name is Divyanshu from CS first year, and seeing you at this position, you surely have a good GPA at your college. Here at college, the position at which you are, you need to do some out of the box learnings for being there. So surely here at the college, whenever I start something, college studies came in between. So how do you manage that during your college studies?
So I'll not share my GPA or what my results were, but the answer is that one of this has to both of them cannot be good. You're right. so I did a lot of projects at the end. So and I'm not claiming that my GPA was very high.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I want to ask that, sir, what was your motivation behind for developing a company in the field of AR?
So it's not in the field of AR, I would say. I would say it's in the field of education. But the choice of AR was because it is it's the new interaction. The way everybody has a mobile phone now. Everybody is going to have a device in 10 years, which is going to give them an augmented reality experience. So it's a field that is going to, it's almost becoming available in US and other countries. So, and it's a new interaction. It changes. So right now, if you look at your phone, you only look at it as a small screen, right? It's only a very small part of the experience, but the rest of the world is just, there's no experience. It's not connected. So it's a new interaction that has to happen. So it's a trend that we see, and there is enough good and smart people behind it that it's going to happen. So that's why we chose that technology, because that's the technology of the future, and that's where most of the interaction is going to go.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. I'm Supriya, second year EC student. What I wanted to ask was that I am from a core branch, electronics, and there are students from electrical also in BIT. So, if someone develops an interest in AR or any kind of like thinks about going into gaming or any sort of computer science related stream, so is there really an equilibrium between the two? Like, I shouldn't have to give up on my studies or my subjects to take an interest into AR or any other stream. So is there any kind of equilibrium between the two?
Equilibrium, I mean, I can tell you equilibrium in terms of projects. I don't know how you will achieve it. That problem you have to solve yourself. I mean, there's AR, I don't know if how electrical electronics or electrical directly relates into AR. I mean, you can try building um, get a phone, break it apart, and try to build an AR, build an AR glass, and that'll be a great experiment. It's not a small project, but
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
all
you'll
about
have.
experimenting.
Sorry.
It's all about trying and experimenting things
Yeah,
on your own.
experimenting. And what I'm telling you is, do you guys know about Google Glass? So Google Glass, it just took them a prototype. They built that prototype out of some wires, the first prototype, in 6 hours to see how it will work. So it doesn't take that long. I mean, on your campus, you have a mechanical lab, you have an electronics lab, you have a computer science lab, you have everything to build all these things. So it's just your imagination and your internet search.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, I would like. Good morning, sir. Myself, Tanisha Chalani, and I would like to ask that what has been the most satisfying moment in your business?
The most satisfying business time is always when somebody tells you that what you built is really good and it's helping them. So for us, there was this kid, 5-year-old kid, who we gave our uh, game to, and he started going all around his house and playing the game. So, and he sent a message at night that he really loves the game. So that is always the most satisfying part of the business.
Okay, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Mhm.
I'm in third year, and the doubt I have is that if I have a startup idea which solves a problem,
Mhm.
then how should I move towards it? Like, should I go for a higher degree or get some industry experience by getting a job? Because I personally feel that it would be difficult to move to that idea just from a BTech degree.
I don't no, I don't think the degree has to do anything with startups. I mean, if you can fund, you should have a mindset that you can learn anything and do anything. So if you have an aspiration to build a startup, you should definitely have an aspiration to learn anything it takes to do that. So, and I don't think college necessarily in terms of or higher degree, even the time it will take to just, if your aim is to do a startup, is the right decision. So if your aim is to build a startup, the first rule is you are ready to do anything it takes, which means you have a mindset that will teach you, that you learn whatever technology is needed or not. Whether it's only a matter of time, right? Either you learn it in say 1 month or it will take you 2 years to learn it. But as long as you're able to learn it, you need to basically get to a point where you are um, are in a place to keep doing that for 2 years. So if a higher degree provides you that you can keep doing this on the side, so that nobody tells you anything and you're working, maybe that's why you can do the higher degree. But otherwise, there's no reason. You can build somewhere in your house somewhere.
As you pointed out, that I need to learn and get more experience. So how can what could be the possible sources? Like if I go for MS, that would be a nice source to learn new things and interact with people, or could it, or are there any other sources?
So you tell me, be specific, because I don't know what you're building, and then I can tell you what the resources, how to build it without doing MS.
I'm not probably thought. There are many ideas. Like
Yeah. So I think what you're looking for is you want to do a startup, but you don't have an idea. So and then you want to have an idea and then want to build something. So you're very, very early stage. So yes, I think you can probably do masters, and that will probably spur up ideas, and that'll give you more time to get into that frame. I get it. So probably you can do masters and do in computer science and get ideas, because that's where most of the fun stuff is happening.
Well, I think here's how we should conclude our discussion for the day. I know we might keep going on for hours, but it's already so late. So, sir, we wish that you keep inspiring us with all the good work in the social and entrepreneurship fields. I'll hand over the mic to Harshita. Thank you so much for the interactive session, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Honorable Director, sir, faculty members, and dear students, it's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion. Well, an event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling a month ago. It requires planning and bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of motivated and dedicated coordinators who know their job and are result oriented. I would like to express sincere thanks to Mr. Anshul Dhawan sir for enlightening us with such enthusiastic and great words. It's a matter of pride for all of us that our alumni are illuminating the name of BIT all around the world. And Mr. Nareen Bakshi sir has also extended his heartfelt thanks for you to joining the BIT Jaipur campus today. I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to our faculty members and mentors, Mrs. Aprajita ma'am, Mr. Alok sir, Mrs. Pankaj ma'am, Mr. Sanjay Tambi sir, Mr. Tiju sir, for perfect logistic support and guidance they extended to all of us. And most importantly, our thank you to participants, as participation has made this first webinar of our SARC successful one. To conclude, let me again reiterate my gratitude to all. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Anshul, just for your because I am very happy that now I am seeing a confident, mature person. You were a student that time, and
Yes.
you have improvised a lot. So it's a big happiness for me. And from my side as a director, I also taught you. Okay, so from my side, I request you to, if you have a time, then please visit BIT Jaipur campus website. If you just click BIT Mesra, then you click the campuses, then you will find the BIT Mesra Jaipur campus. So you just go through that. So when you passed out in 2008 and now it is 2019, a lot of good things happened at BIT Jaipur campus. You just go through the, then you would definitely feel more happy that the engineering course which we started with you. No, it is also improvised. It is also matured like you. Okay, and whatever suggestions you want to just to do, that these are the areas where we could develop more. Okay, so
Definitely.
definitely, yeah, the research projects wise, infrastructure wise, faculty profile wise, you know, and how to just like you, how we could connect with other alumni, because you would be having a network with those who are passed out from BIT Jaipur campus, because
Yes, I do.
BIT BIT Mesra is a broader network, but
Yes, yes.
definitely those who have passed out from BIT Jaipur, definitely they have more affection towards the BIT Jaipur students or the BIT Jaipur campus. Okay,
Definitely.
so
Yes.
we would like to just give more strength to this network, and
Uh-huh.
definitely we would like to have this kind of webinar frequently. So
Definitely,
we,
sir. I'll pass on the message to other people who are in here also, and I'm available for all any projects. Anyone wants to do gaming projects or get into AI or data science, I'm available. I'm always available. So let me know, sir.
yeah, definitely, yes, we are looking for your good wishes
Yeah,
and this moral support, and definitely technical support. Okay,
definitely, sir.
thank you,
All right.
thank thank you very much.
Bye, guys.
Excuse me, sir.